All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a seat and relax. We're ready to resume. Mr. Guy, your next witness. Tevin Thompson, please. Good morning, Mr. Thompson. If you'll come right up here to the front for me, please. And if you raise your right hand, the clerk's going to administer the oath to you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
All right, sir, if you'll come right around here for me and have a seat in the witness chair. Make yourself comfortable. And if you lean into that microphone or adjust it just so you can get to it, it sounds like you might have a soft voice. Just be sure and speak up loudly so everybody can hear you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Guy, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir. If you'd please tell the members of the jury your name.
Tevin Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, do you live here in Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived in Jacksonville?
Since 04.
All right. And how old are you?
I'm 18.
On November 23rd of 2012, how old were you?
I was 17 years old.
And are you in school at this time?
Yes, sir.
Where is it that you go to school?
FSCJ.
And what are you studying there?
Communications.
In addition to school, are you also employed at this time?
Yes, sir.
Where are you employed?
Sabaro.
Is that the pizza place?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how long have you been working for Sabara?
Since September of 2013.
Who do you live with currently?
My parents.
And do you know a person by the name of Jordan Davis?
Yes, sir.
How did you meet Jordan Davis?
Through a friend.
How would you characterize your relationship with Jordan Davis over the time that you knew him? Were you guys best friends, close friends, acquaintances, or what?
We were close friends.
Did you also know a person named Leland Brunson?
Yes, sir.
And how did you meet Leland Brunson?
Through Jordan.
And how would you characterize your relationship with Leland Brunson?
He was also a good friend.
Do you know a person named Tommy Storns?
Yes, sir.
And where did you meet Tommy Storns?
In high school.
What school is that?
Atlantic Coast.
All right. And how would you characterize your friendship with Tommy Storns over the time that you've known him?
He was also a close friend.
All right. Out of those three people, Jordan Davis, Leland Brunson, and Tommy Storns, who are you closest to?
Tommy.
Let me turn your attention to November of 2012. Who did you live with at that time?
My parents.
And
sir.
what part of town did you live in?
Mandarin.
And were you in school in November of 2012?
Yes, sir.
Where were you in school?
Atlantic Coast High.
That's located off of 295 on the south side?
Yes, sir.
All right. What grade were you in November 2012?
I was a senior.
And did you graduate from Atlantic Coast High?
Yes, sir.
When did you graduate?
June 2013.
Specifically then, let me turn your attention to Friday, November 23rd, 2012. Do you remember that day?
Yes, sir.
Did you see Jordan Davis that day?
Yes, sir.
And how was it that you came to have contact with Jordan Davis on November 23rd, 2012?
Me and Tommy picked him and Leland up, sir.
You and Tommy Storns picked up Jordan Davis and Leland Brunson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recall the exact time that you would have done that?
Midday.
Was it still daylight?
Yes, sir.
All right. And where was it that you and Tommy Storns picked up Jordan Davis and Leland Brunson from?
His home.
Whose home?
Jordan.
Okay. What part of town was that in?
Mandarin.
And how were the four of you traveling that afternoon?
In Tommy's red Durango.
Who was driving?
Tommy.
All right. And how many doors does that car have?
4.
Let me ask you to look at your monitor. Is there an image there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does it say States 43 in the little tag?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Does that appear to be Tommy Storns' red Dodge Durango?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where did the four of you go first when you and Tommy picked up Leland Brunson and Jordan Davis?
My house, sir.
And about how far was your house from Jordan Davis's house?
A few minutes.
And why did you go to your house?
To change.
And why did you want to change?
Because we were going to head to the town center, sir.
All right. Were you dressing up or dressing down, or what was the change?
Dressing up.
Okay. For what?
We was wanted to go pick up some girls.
Okay. Did anyone else go into your house when you went in to change?
No, sir.
All right. And is that all that you did, change clothes and come back out?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where did you go after you changed?
Town center.
And do you recall exactly what time you arrived at the town center?
No, sir.
Did the four of you stay together at the town center?
Yes, sir.
Did Jordan Davis see anyone that he knew at the town center?
Yes, sir.
Who was that?
Aaliyah
Do you know Aaliyah's last name?
Harris.
And what relation, if any, is Aaliyah to Jordan?
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
And where did you all run into Aaliyah Harris?
Urban Outfitters.
Is that where she worked?
Yes, sir.
All right. And about how long were the four of you at Urban Outfitters?
A few minutes.
Did the four of you leave the town center together?
Yes, sir.
And did you again leave in Tommy Storn's Durango?
Yes, sir.
And where were the four of you going when you left?
Avenues Mall, sir.
All right. Also on the south side?
Yes, sir.
And why were you going to the Avenues?
More girls, sir.
Okay. Who was driving the Durango when y'all left the town center?
Tommy.
And where were you seated?
I was in the passenger seat.
Front or back?
Front.
So next to Tommy Storns?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where was Jordan Davis seated?
Right behind me, sir.
And where was Leland Brunson seated?
Behind Tommy.
Had you ever been in that Durango before?
Yes, sir.
How many times? Can you?
A
lot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did Tommy Storn's Durango have child locks on the back doors?
Yes, sir.
All right. And were those child locks typically engaged when y'all were in the Durango?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did the four of you stop anywhere on the way to the Avenues Mall?
Yes, sir.
Where was that?
Gate gas station.
And why did you stop at the gate?
For gum, and Tommy wanted cigarettes.
Why did you want gum?
Sorry, breath can smell good, sir.
For the girls.
Yes, sir.
All right. What gate gas station did you stop at? What was the location?
Southside and Bay Meadows.
Were you familiar with that gate gas station?
Yes, sir.
And how is that?
I grew up in the area.
All right. Had you been to that station before then?
Yes, sir.
All right. When you got to the gate gas station, did Tommy Storns park in a parking space?
Yes, sir.
All right. And where was that parking space relative to the store itself?
Facing the store to the left.
To the left of what?
To the door.
To the left of the entrance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When Tommy Storns parked there, was there anyone on the passenger side of the Dodge Durango?
No, sir.
And when Tommy Storns parked, did anyone get out and go into the gate store itself?
Tommy.
Did you or Jordan or Leland go into the store?
No, sir.
Did any of you get out of the car for any reason?
No, sir.
And was music playing in the Durango while you were waiting for Tommy Storns?
Yes, sir.
What type of music was it?
Rap music.
And what was the volume?
It was pretty loud, sir.
Were any of the windows in the Dodge Durango down while you all were parked there at the gas station?
Jordan's door was, Jordan window was a little down, sir.
And how was your window positioned?
My window was up.
As the three of you are sitting there, what was Jordan Davis's demeanor that afternoon?
He was happy, just a normal day.
How about Leland Brunson?
Same, sir.
How about Tommy Storns that afternoon?
His was the same also.
And how was yours?
Same, sir.
All right. At some point while the three of you are waiting for Tommy Storns to come back, did a car pull into the parking space on the passenger side of the Dodge Durango?
Yes, sir.
And is that the side that you were sitting on?
Yes, sir.
What kind or model of car pulled in next to the Durango?
Sedan.
What color was it?
Black.
And did the black sedan park immediately next to y'all or a space or two over?
Immediate next to us, sir.
And how close did the driver of the black sedan park next to the Durango?
Really close, sir.
Based on where the driver parked the black sedan, could you have exited the Durango through your door?
No, sir.
Why not?
He was parked pretty close.
Did anyone get out of the black sedan when it pulled in?
A lady.
And where did, well, let me ask you this. Was she white, black, Hispanic, Asian, or what? Could you tell
White.
me? White?
Yes, sir.
All right. And where did the white female go when she exited the black sedan?
Into the store, sir.
Did you see the driver of the
Yeah.
black sedan?
Yes, sir.
And as y'all are parked, is he essentially right next to you? That is, you're in the front passenger seat and he's in the driver's seat of the car on the passenger side?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you think you'd recognize the driver of the black sedan if you saw him again?
Yes, sir.
You see that person in court this morning.
Yes, sir.
Can you please identify him by where he's sitting and what he's wearing?
He's sitting to the left. He has a black tuxedo on, a suit on.
All right. Is he seated at the table?
Yes, sir.
As you're looking at him, is he to the left or the right?
To the left.
All right. Your Honor, I'd ask that the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
All right. Mr. Thompson, while the three of you were waiting for Tommy Storns, did the defendant say anything to you or in your direction?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
Turn your music down. I can't hear myself think.
And how did the defendant appear when he said that?
Upset, a little angry.
And what did you do when he said to turn the music down?
I turned the music down.
When you turned the music down, did either Leland Brunson or Jordan Davis say anything to you?
Yes, sir.
Who spoke?
Jordan,
And what did Jordan Davis say?
turn the music back up.
Did he curse when he said that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell the jury it's all right. Judge, may he repeat what Jordan Davis said?
Yes, sir.
All right. Even if it's curse words, Mr. Thompson, you can repeat what Jordan Davis said.
Fuck that. Turn the music back up.
All right. And was he talking to you or someone else?
He was talking to me.
Did you turn the music back up?
Yes, sir.
When you turned the music back up, was it louder, lower, or about the same?
It was about the same, sir.
And was Tommy Storns still in the Gate gas station while this was going on?
No, sir. I mean, yes, sir.
All right. After you turned the music back up, was there any conversation between the defendant and anyone in your car?
Yes, sir.
And who was talking with the defendant?
Jordan.
All right. Did you say anything to the defendant?
No, sir.
Did Leland Brunson say anything to the defendant?
No, sir.
Do you know who started the conversation between the defendant and Jordan Davis?
No, sir.
All right. Could you hear what the defendant was saying to Jordan Davis?
No, sir.
And your window was still up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you recall anything that Jordan Davis said to the defendant?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
F you.
Okay, when you say F you, he said the word, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he didn't say F.
No, sir.
Okay. Did you ever hear Jordan Davis threaten the defendant in any way?
No, sir.
Did you ever see Jordan Davis threaten the defendant in any way?
No, sir.
Did you ever see anything in Jordan Davis's hands while he was talking to the defendant?
No, sir.
Did you see or hear Jordan Davis attempt to get out of the Durango at any point?
No, sir.
Did you ever see or hear Leland Brunson threaten the defendant in any way?
No, sir.
And did you threaten the defendant in any way?
No, sir.
Were you aware of any weapons of any kind in the Durango that evening?
No, sir.
All right. At any point during the conversation between Jordan Davis and the defendant, did you adjust Jordan Davis's window?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how were you able to do that?
Reaching over to the driver's door and putting his window up, sir.
So to raise Jordan Davis's window, who was behind you, you had to reach over to Tommy Storn's controls?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how did you adjust it in terms of higher or lower, or how high?
I raised it, sir.
Okay, and about how much space? Was there any space?
Yeah,
left?
a few inches
Okay.
open.
So you didn't close it all the way?
No, sir.
All right. Can you, and you say 3 inches. Can you show with your
A
hands?
few inches.
Okay, and Judge, for the record, I'd say that's 3 inches or so.
I would agree.
And why did you do that?
So Jordan could stop talking to the defendant.
All right. Did Jordan Davis and the defendant continue to exchange words after you raised Jordan Davis's window?
Yes, sir.
And was your window still up?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever put your window down?
No, sir.
At some point, did Tommy Storns come back to the Durango?
Yes, sir.
Did you see or hear Tommy Storns threaten the defendant in any way?
No, sir.
And when he came back to the Durango, did he actually walk right in front of the defendant's car?
Yes, sir.
And what did Tommy Storns do when he got back to the Durango?
He opened his door and started to dance in front of the car, in front of his door.
All right, to the music?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did the defendant and Jordan Davis continue to exchange words after Tommy Storns got back in the car?
Yes, sir.
At some point, did you see the defendant with a gun in his hand?
Yes, sir.
And when did you see the defendant grab a gun in relation to Tommy Storns getting back in the car?
Tommy was already seated in the car.
All right. Let me show you States 113. You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Does that appear to be the gun that you saw in the defendant's hand?
Yes, sir.
Did you see where the defendant got the gun from?
Yes, sir.
Where?
His right side by the floor.
Somewhere to his right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you see or hear anything the defendant said just before you saw the gun in his hand?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
Are you talking to me?
And who was the defendant talking to when he said, "Are you talking to me"?
Jordan.
What did the defendant do with the gun when you saw it in his hand?
He fired it.
And where was the defendant aiming the gun?
Jordan's door.
What did Tommy Storns do when the defendant started firing the gun into Jordan's door?
Put the car in reverse, sir.
Did he back up?
Yes, sir.
Was the defendant still firing when Tommy Storns was backing away?
Yes, sir.
And what did Tommy Storns do after he backed up?
He put the car in drive and drove forward.
Did you hear gunshots when the defendant, when Tommy Storns pulled forward?
Yes, sir.
What did you do when the defendant started shooting at the car?
Lay down, sir.
Where?
Like towards Tommy lap.
Towards Tommy Storns?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that would have been away from the gunfire?
Yes, sir.
How did you feel when the defendant was firing at the Durango?
Scared, sir.
Did you stay leaned over towards Tommy Storns as the defendant was firing at the Durango?
Yes, sir.
At what point did you sit back up?
When we came to a stop.
And where was it that Tommy Storns stopped?
In the plaza.
All right. Let me ask you to look at States Exhibit 1. Is that on your monitor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you see the gate gas station there?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you to press on that screen with your finger. You got to press kind of hard.
Yeah.
And circle the gate gas station. All right. And can you show the jury where the front door is? Do you see the sidewalk there by the front door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you put a line through that? All right. And approximately, where was it that Tommy Storns had parked the red Dodge Durango originally? If you could just make a mark.
When we came to the gas station?
Originally. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. And that's to the left of, as you said, the front door.
Yes, sir.
All right. Show the members of the jury where you all went, where Tommy Storns drove in the plaza.
Right there. The mark's already there, sir.
Did you make a mark?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you make it a little bigger?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that's about where Tommy Storns stopped?
Yes, sir.
When Tommy Storns stopped the car, did he pull into a parking space?
No, sir.
Did he just stop straight in the parking lot?
Yes, sir.
All right. How did you first learn that Jordan Davis had been shot?
When Tommy began to call our names, me and Leland replied, but Jordan didn't.
Did Jordan Davis respond in any way when his name was called?
No, sir.
Did you look at Jordan Davis?
Yes, sir.
How was he positioned?
He was laid down in Leland's arms.
Did Jordan Davis say anything at any time?
No, sir.
Was he making any sounds that you could hear?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
like gasping for air.
Was Jordan Davis moving in any way?
No, sir.
Did you get out of the Durango when Tommy Storns stopped in the plaza?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Just to check on the car and myself.
And what did you see when you got out?
3 bullet holes in Jordan's door.
Did anyone else get out of the Durango when Tommy Storns stopped?
Yes, sir.
Who was that?
Tommy.
And what did Tommy Storns do when he was out of the Durango?
He came around to Jordan's door.
Did you ever see the defendant's black sedan again after you stopped in the plaza?
Yes, sir.
Where did you see it? And you can show us on the screen.
Right there, sir.
Okay. Did you see it move?
Yes, sir.
Where'd it go?
Towards south side.
All right. Can you just draw a line where it went?
Like the exit.
Did you see which way it went on south side?
Yes, sir.
Where'd it go? Judge, and for the record, he has drawn a line that depicts the car exiting the only exit that appears on State's Exhibit 1, and then, according to the legend, driving north on Southside Boulevard.
Let the record so reflect, and there is a compass on that photograph that would indicate.
Oh, northbound on south side, sir.
Correct.
All right. How did you feel when you saw the defendant's sedan again?
Scared, sir.
Why?
I thought he was going to shoot again.
Were you inside or outside the Durango when you saw the defendant's car go by?
Outside.
All right. Did you then get back into the Durango?
Yes, sir.
What did Tommy Storns do?
Put the car in reverse.
And when you say reverse, did he turn the car around or away? Or you just back straight up?
Back straight up, sir.
And where did he back up to?
The Gate gas station.
And did he park back at the Gate gas station?
Yes, sir.
Or that is, pull into a parking space?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you call 911 at any point, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
As soon as I got out the car, when we arrived back at the gate.
All right. When you got back to the Gate station, did you get out of the car again?
Yes, sir.
All right. And where was Leland Brunson when you got out?
He was still in the car, sir.
Did people come over to try to help?
Yes, sir.
Were other people, and by other people, I mean people other than you or Tommy Storns or Leland Brunson calling 911?
Yes, sir.
Did people take Jordan Davis out of the Durango and try to help him?
Yes, sir.
What did they do when they took him out?
Like try and give him CPR.
Did police and rescue respond to the scene?
Yes, sir.
And did the police direct you anywhere when they responded to the scene?
In the Gate gas station, sir.
They told you to go into the store?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Were there other people in the store?
Yes, sir.
All right. Were Tommy Storns and Leland Brunson also in the store?
Yes, sir.
And other civilians?
Yes, sir.
All right. Later, that same evening, were you taken from the Gate gas station to the Police Memorial Building downtown?
Yes, sir.
And how did you get from the Gate to the Police Memorial Building?
A police officer.
Were Leland Brunson and Tommy Storns transported with you to the police station?
Yes, sir.
Did the three of you talk about what had happened while you were being transported to the police station?
No, sir.
Were you interviewed by homicide detectives when you got down to the police station?
Yes, sir.
And when you spoke with the homicide detectives, were you in the same room as Leland Brunson or Tommy Storns, or were the three of you interviewed separately?
Separately, sir.
Did you tell the detectives what had happened?
Yes, sir.
During your interview with the detectives, did they show you a series of photographs?
Yes, sir.
Did you recognize anyone in the photographs?
Yes, sir.
Who was it that you recognized?
The defendant.
Did you tell that to the detectives?
Yes, sir.
Did they have you sign and date the photograph that you identified as the defendant's?
Yes, sir.
Did they also have you write on the photograph?
Yes, sir.
All right. Before you were shown the photo spread,
Yes, sir.
were you given some instructions about how to view the photographs?
Yes, sir.
And did you actually sign the form that you were given the instructions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thompson, let me show you first what's been moved into evidence as 162. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and is your signature on that form?
Yes, sir.
Is that the instructions that you were provided before viewing the photo spread?
Yes, sir.
All right. And let me show you states 161. You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
The photo,
The photo of what photo?
spread, the defendant.
All right, is that the photograph that you signed with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Is your signature on there?
Yes, sir.
Is the date on it?
Yes, sir.
And what is the date?
11/24/12.
So it was after midnight?
Yes.
Shown there.
Yes, sir.
All right, did you write anything else on the photograph?
Yes, sir.
What did you write?
This was the man that was shooting.
Yeah, may I post that to the jury?
Yes, sir. What exhibit number is that?
I'm sorry, 161.
Okay. And again, ladies and gentlemen, while you're looking at that, you will, as I've said before, have an opportunity when you deliberate your verdict to take not only that back to the jury room with you, but every other piece of evidence that's entered during the course of the case, so you can review it again if you need.
While they're doing that, sir, would you mind clearing the screen for me? Thank you. Mr. Thompson, let me ask you to look at State's Exhibit 9. Do you see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, does that appear to be the parking space that Mr. Storns parked in when he came back to the Gate gas station after the shooting?
Yes, sir.
And State's 21, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Is that the area where the people took Jordan Davis's body out and performed CPR on him?
Yes, sir.
State's 24, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Who is in that photograph?
Jordan.
And State's 27, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Is that the front passenger seat where you were seated at the time of the shooting?
Yes, sir.
And State's 36, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Are those the bullet holes that you saw in Jordan Davis's door when you got out of the car?
Yes, sir.
State's 48, you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Is that Tommy Storn's driver's door?
Yes, sir.
And are those the controls that you used to lower or raise Jordan Davis's window?
Yes, sir.
And finally, State's 125, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Does that appear to be the black sedan that the defendant was driving that evening?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Judge, that's all I have.
Mr. Strolla, Cross?
Thank you, Your Honor. Real briefly, Mr. Thompson, the picture you just saw, where you said those are the bullet holes in Mr. Davis's door,
Yes, sir.
looked like your front window was shattered.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you got out of the car, when you guys stopped in that other plaza, you didn't see damage to your side, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What damage did you see to your car,
To my car.
to your side where you were?
Just Jordan's door.
Right, just Jordan's door, correct?
Yes, sir.
But in that picture you just saw, your front window was shattered.
Yes, sir.
Was it shattered when you got out of the car?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you saw that damage as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, did you ever check to see if you had bullet holes in your door?
No, sir.
And that's because you were in a panic.
Yes, sir.
First time you've ever been anything like this in your life.
Yes, sir.
You were scared.
Yes, sir.
Your own words, you were terrified.
Yes, sir.
You didn't call 911.
Yes, I did call 911.
Not sitting in that plaza when you saw the damage, you didn't.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? Nobody else did. Tommy Storms, did he call 911?
No, sir.
Leland Brunson.
No, sir.
All right. Now you guys are stopped, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're about 100 yards away from the gate gas station, correct?
I don't know if it's 100 yards, sir.
You have pretty good distance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said you saw the vehicle pull in and that made you even more afraid, right?
Yes, sir.
Did he drive up behind you?
He was in view's distance, sir.
Right. You could see his car. Safe to say he could see yours.
Yes, sir.
All right. But did he pull in behind you?
No, sir.
Did he try to shoot at you again?
That's why I was terrified, sir.
Did he try to shoot at you again?
No, sir.
Okay. Now with that, he drove away from the scene. He didn't squeal his tires or anything like that, right?
No, sir.
If he did, you would have told the police.
Yes, sir.
And you didn't tell them that, did you?
No, sir.
All right. And in that respect, you get out, and is there a roll call? Do people start calling each other's names?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Who does that?
Tommy.
Tommy calls out who?
All of our names in the car.
All right. And you say now Jordan Davis is gasping for air, correct?
Yes, sir.
My client's vehicle already left. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And nobody calls 911.
No, sir.
All right. You guys actually open the back doors where Leland and Jordan Davis are, correct?
Just Jordan's door.
All right. So are you saying that Tommy never opens that back passenger door where Leland Brunson is?
Yes, sir.
All right. And he never reached into the car to try to stash something. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. And again, are you even aware of what Tommy's going based on your state of mind?
Yes, sir.
Now, you talked about child locks always being on in the Durango.
Yes, sir.
Are you referring to the child locks on the window?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're not talking about the doors, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's be clear. The child locks you testified are the child locks on the window where you can't open up somebody else's window. You got to lean over to the driver's side window, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Yes, sir.
That's accurate and fair.
Yes, sir.
And you're being truthful.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, with that being said, how is it possible that you can testify to this jury that Jordan Davis didn't try to get out of the car? He's sitting behind you in a chair.
Because if Jordan tried and get out the car, he would have been out the car, sir.
All right. And in that fact, isn't it true? You said you couldn't get out of the car because you're a big man, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you even said by the look of Mr. Dunn, he was a big man too, right?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that you said in your deposition that Jordan could have fit out of that car?
Yes, sir.
But you're going to testify today that he didn't try to, right?
Yes, sir.
But you have eyes in the back of your head?
No, sir.
And isn't it true you weren't even turned around looking, you were still looking forward, correct?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that the music was so loud that the windows and mirrors were vibrating in that SUV?
Yes, sir.
And you said that's normal for you guys to do that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, you've been in positions where it's been so loud it could hurt your ears.
Yes, sir.
And you've been in positions where you've been in another car where that car was rattling because of the bass. I'm going to get to in a second, Judge.
Real quickly.
Yeah. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the music was so loud, you could not hear Jordan Davis saying things to Mr. Dunn. Isn't that true?
No, sir.
That's not true?
No, sir.
You're saying you heard everything he said.
Not everything, but I heard some things, sir.
That's what I'm asking you. Then and here's my question. Isn't it true the music was so loud you could not hear everything Jordan Davis said?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible that Jordan Davis threatened Mr. Dunn and you didn't hear it?
Sustained.
Are there things that he was saying and yelling that you couldn't hear because the music was loud?
Yes, sir.
Same thing with Leland Brunson. He's sitting right there behind you, and you couldn't hear him talk either.
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that you never heard Mr. Dunn say anything? You could only see him, what you say, mouth the words through a window.
Yes, sir.
And his windows were up.
Yes, sir.
And his windows aren't tinted, right?
No, sir.
And your windows were.
Yes, sir.
And you even told me that he could never even see inside the car because they're tinted, correct?
Correct.
So at that point, he just knows he's talking to a car full of people, right?
Sustained.
At that point, is it your opinion that nobody can see in that car?
Yes, sir.
Because all the windows were up.
Jordan's window was down, sir.
All the way down, half down?
Half down.
Half down. And who put that window down?
Tommy did.
All right, when did Tommy put that window down?
On the way to the gate gas station.
All right, and again, it's true, you never heard anything Mr. Dunn said. You're claiming you saw him mouth the words.
He told us to turn the music down, sir.
Well, he asked you.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you turn it down?
I can't. Yes, sir.
All right, and you saw him mouth that.
No, he asked us that.
I understand that, but you couldn't hear it. You could only read his lips. Isn't that what you told me?
Yes, sir.
All right, and in that point, did he ever curse at you?
No, sir.
Did he ever say anything derogatory about you?
No, sir.
Anybody in the vehicle?
No, sir.
All right, and again, is it possible my client said thank you and you didn't see him say it?
No, sir.
Well, let me ask you this. You turned the radio down.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true you had to lean over to turn the radio down?
No, it's right next. It's right next to me, sir. It's arm's length.
All right, so basically, you went like this blindly, reaching for the volume of the radio, looking at my client. Is that what you're testifying?
No, sir. I just turned it down. I was just looking at it, turn it down.
You were looking at the radio, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the answer to my question was yes, you looked away from Mr. Dunn, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And is it possible he said thank you and you didn't see him mouth those words?
Yes, sir. But if the music was down, I would have heard him at this point.
That's my point, though.
Yeah.
But if you lower it and he turns around and says thank you, you can't see it because you're not looking at him. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
That's correct?
Yes, sir.
And his windows are still up. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that enraged Jordan Davis, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember talking to Mr. Guy just about a week ago about what you recall Jordan Davis saying?
Yes, sir.
I know you just testified to what he said, but isn't it true that Jordan Davis said to you, fuck that nigger, turn it back up?
Yes, sir.
And that wasn't Mr. Dunn. Mr. Dunn didn't say anything like that.
Yeah. No, sir.
You didn't even see him mouth any curse words, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you see him start pounding his fist on the steering wheel?
No, sir.
Did you see him throw his hands up in the air?
No, sir.
Did you see him give anybody the middle finger?
No, sir.
Did you see him mouth anything else?
After that?
Yes.
No, sir.
And this whole time, as soon as you lowered that radio, Jordan Davis was upset.
Yes, sir.
He was so furious that he started cursing at Mr. Dunn.
Yes, sir.
And again, the music was so loud when you turned it up that you couldn't even hear everything that Jordan Davis was saying to Michael Dunn, correct?
Yes, sir.
And again, and if I can approach the witness, Your Honor,
For what purpose?
just to show close in proximity of a person.
I think you can ask him distances.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're sitting in that shotgun position chair, that right front passenger chair,
Yes, sir.
Jordan Davis would be right behind you in that chair.
Yes, sir.
Right? You're not sitting in a limousine.
No, sir.
You're not sitting in a big Tundra truck.
No, sir.
He's right behind you.
Yes, sir.
His head is right behind you.
Yes, sir.
And he's screaming at Michael Dunn.
I couldn't tell if he was screaming, sir.
All right, but he's yelling loudly, right? He's enraged, he's mad.
He's not enraged. They having a conversation back and forth, sir.
Well, you just said he had conversations, but you just told the jury you never saw my client mouth anything else. So
When they
how's
were-
that a conversation?
Him and Jordan was having words, sir.
Isn't it true that my client said nothing to Jordan Davis after that music was turned down?
Not true.
All right, and isn't it true that Jordan Davis was so upset he began cursing and screaming at Michael Dunn?
Not true, sir.
Okay. Now, you just met Jordan Davis August of 2012, correct?
Yes, sir.
You met him in that summer. You didn't even know him, correct?
I knew him previously before that, but me and him didn't begin to hang out till that summer.
Right. So you knew him for about maybe 3 months before this night, correct?
No, sir.
Well, you have August.
I met him the summertime. That's around June.
All right. So you knew him for a couple of months before this happened.
Yes, sir.
All right. And in that aspect, how many times has he been in that SUV with Tommy Storms?
Twice.
Including the night the shooting happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
So he was only in that truck one time before that.
Yes, sir.
How often have you hung out with Tommy Storms and Jordan Davis?
2 times.
Right. The second time being the night of the shooting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Bless you. Now, you arrived at Tommy Storms' house, you said in the afternoon of November 23rd, correct?
Early morning time, sir. Around earlier
sorry?
that day. Like 12:01.
All right. And then you were recording music with Mr. Storms that you guys do together?
Yes, sir.
All right. And again, you play the music in your car. Would you agree that in Tommy's truck, you can adjust the bass to be really loud with amplifiers and turn that treble down so the words aren't as loud and the bass really reverberates and kicks, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's fair to say that was that night in that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And again, the car was rattling because of that bass, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you drove around, there wasn't much traffic on the road, correct?
No, sir.
Right. Pretty light night. You guys go to the mall, walk around, correct?
Yeah, town center.
You guys just walk up the town center, come back.
Yes,
True?
sir.
Matter of fact, Jordan Davis only stops in and sees his girlfriend for a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
And then you guys decide you're going to go to another mall, as you say, to go look for more girls.
Yes, sir.
And that included Jordan Davis.
Yes, sir.
And it was Jordan Davis's idea for everybody to get gum, right?
Yes, sir.
He was saying the reason we can't pick up girls is because y'all breath stink.
Yes, sir.
Now, you don't own a car, correct?
No, sir.
Jordan Davis didn't own a car, correct?
No, sir.
And Leland Brunson didn't own a car, correct?
No, sir.
So the only way you were going to get there is Tommy Storns driving you.
Yes, sir.
All right. And isn't it true that you knew that Tommy Storns was on felony probation and had a curfew?
Yes, sir.
And you guys left the mall at 7:30 at night, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right. And again, his curfew was 7, and you knew that.
Yes, sir.
Now, when Tommy goes into the store, he's not present for all this going on and Jordan yelling at Mr. Dunn, correct?
Yes, sir.
He's not.
He's not.
Right. So he goes in and comes back out.
Yes, sir.
You actually see him walk across the front of the car.
Yes, sir.
He actually comes in and gets in the driver's side.
Yes, sir.
And actually, you see Tommy kind of do a little dance, right?
Yes, sir.
So Tommy doesn't see any conversation or arguing going back.
No, sir.
And Tommy would have had to walk right in front of Mr. Dunn's vehicle
Yes, sir.
without any tinted windows.
Yes, sir.
He'd have a clear shot at Mr. Dunn.
Yes, sir.
And Tommy had no idea what was going on. Isn't
No.
that true?
Yes, sir.
Sustained.
Let me ask you this. When Tommy got in the car, did you have to tell him what was going on?
Yes, sir.
And you told him what was going on.
Yes, sir.
And Tommy could see how Mr. Davis was upset.
Yes, sir.
And it was at that point you said that Mr. Dunn reached for a gun.
Yes, sir.
And you told Tommy, let's get out of here.
No, Tommy just started to put the car in reverse. I didn't say it.
And you admit that the cars weren't that close where Jordan Davis could get out of the vehicle if he wanted to.
The cars were close. Jordan was just a smaller guy.
And he could fit through.
Yes, sir.
You just couldn't at Mr. Dunn because of your size.
Yes, sir.
And you don't ever see Mr. Dunn yell or get mad in terms of yelling or mouthing words back to Jordan Davis. Isn't that true?
No, sir.
That's false?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me what words of anger Mr. Dunn used that you saw him mouth.
Are you talking to me?
And he said that angrily?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and was that, again, after some of what you didn't hear Jordan Davis say?
Yes, sir.
And that's because the music was still that loud?
Yes, sir.
Even though he's right behind you?
Yes, sir.
And Leland Brunson's right next to him?
Yes, sir.
And you can't even hear Leland?
No, sir.
And in fact, isn't it true, you were watching things escalate?
Yes, sir.
And that's because of Jordan Davis's behavior, isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Now, when this went down and you saw him get a gun, that make you scared?
Yes, sir.
That terrify you?
Yes, sir.
You ever seen a gun in real life?
No, sir.
Matter of fact, the only thing is through video games. We talked about video games, right?
Yes, sir.
And in video games, you can kind of get that little crosshair and aim, right?
Yes, sir.
You're familiar with Call of Duty, things like that?
Yes, sir.
You've played them before?
Yes, sir.
So you know, in that sense, you can aim, correct?
Sustained.
Judge, if I may, did you ever see Michael Dunn take aim at anybody in that car?
Yes, sir.
Did you see him aim or just point the gun in that direction?
Point the gun in that direction.
Right. So he didn't sit there and measure it up and try to get somebody in a crosshairs. You just saw him put the gun out
And
fire.
He turned his body towards Jordan.
Okay. And for the record, you're leaning over your left shoulder, pointing back on an angle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it'd be diagonal over your left shoulder.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's what Mr. Dunn did.
Yes, sir.
In fact, your cars were side by side where Mr. Dunn's window was next to yours.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Davis was behind him.
Yes, sir. So if he wasn't aiming, I would have been the first target.
Well, that's my point. He didn't aim. He just pointed the gun in that direction. Because you can't put your head behind getting the crosshairs, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's true?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Dunn didn't do that, did he?
No, sir.
All right. Now, when you guys pull over and you're in that plaza, do you see anybody else?
No, sir.
Businesses are still open, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why do you guys get in the car and go back to the gate gas station?
To get help.
Why didn't you just call 911 right there?
Because I just decided to go back in the car.
I'm sorry?
We decided to get help at this gas station
Okay, why is that?
because there were people around at the gas station.
Well, aren't there people around right there where you were?
At that time, it wasn't really that busy. Like I said, the road was kind of clear, so it wasn't a lot of people in that plaza at the time, but there were people at the gas station.
Well, you have restaurants and sandwich shops that were all open right there, correct?
Yes, sir.
About 50 feet from you.
Yes, sir.
But you guys drive 100 yards back to the gate gas station, correct?
Not 100 yards, sir.
All right, that's your opinion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Tommy doesn't park back in the same spot where you were, does he?
No, sir.
And matter of fact, when you get there, you don't call 911, you're still in the car, aren't you?
No, when I get there, I immediately call 911.
All right, isn't it true that Tommy got out of the car and asked the lady driving the pickup truck to call 911?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true she called 911 before you did?
We called about the same time, sir.
All right, so again, you didn't immediately call 911,
As soon as I got back, I called 911.
but it was enough time, though, for Tommy to get out, come around the truck, and talk to the lady next to you.
Well, if me and Tommy got at the same time and I was calling and he told somebody else to call, it could have been the same time, sir.
And on that 911 call, that would have
When you mean by out of there, do you mean the plaza or the gate gas station?
the gate gas station.
Oh, yes, I did tell him that, sir.
All right. And did you tell them where you guys stopped and parked?
Yes, sir.
Did they take you over there?
No, sir.
Did any officers go over there with you guys?
No, sir.
At any time?
No, sir.
And you guys were actually outside your vehicle before you went in the gate gas station for about 20, 30 minutes. Isn't that true?
I don't recall that time, sir.
What kind of time do you recall?
We were just waiting on the officers to come, and
Before you went in the gate? Because I know you waited for them inside the gate as well,
yeah,
right?
no, we waited for the detectives inside the gate. The officers was already there.
Right. Now I'm asking you, how long were you outside walking around the gas station before you went inside the gate for the detectives?
Walking around a few minutes, then the police put us right by their. As soon as the police came, they put us right by their car.
All right. And then you waited there for about 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, by the police officer, and then not 10, 15 minutes, probably another 5 minutes, and then they put us in the gas station.
All right. And the detectives didn't come on scene for about an hour. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir, but we couldn't leave the gas station.
I didn't say you did at that point, but you were waiting inside with all the other witnesses for a great length of period.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And again, that gas station has video and audio surveillance?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, you go to that gas station a lot.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true the people that night recognized you?
The people who work there,
Yes.
they probably did, sir.
Okay. And who did you recognize? Did you recognize anybody there, any employee there?
Oh yeah, like people who I see, the regular employees who work there. Yeah, I would have recognized them.
And you did recognize them that night.
I don't remember who was working.
But I mean, do you remember making eye contact with them?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember seeing them and them knowing you and you knowing them from being in that gas station so often?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, you said you grew up around that area, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you also made several phone calls after you called 911. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember going over your phone records with me?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember also telling me there were several calls where you don't remember who you called?
Yes, sir.
You couldn't recognize the number?
Yes, sir.
And that was immediately while you were at the gate gas station, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, matter of fact, when you went to the homicide office, isn't it true that Tommy told you he could even see you on video when you went in that room?
Yes, sir.
And you were in the homicide office in a room, and were there cameras there, anything like that?
In the room?
Yes.
That I could see?
Yeah.
No, sir.
All right. Did they ever ask you if they could videotape you, record you, anything like that?
No, sir.
Did the officers or detective ever want to take your tape statement, anything like that?
No, sir.
Did they ever ask you to write out a statement?
Yes, sir.
They asked you to write out a statement?
Yeah, a written statement.
And did you make a written statement?
Yes, sir.
Was it a sworn statement?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay. Today, you took an oath to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At your deposition, you took an oath to tell the truth.
Yep.
Did the officers or detectives that night give you an oath to sign something saying, do you swear that this is true, and write it out?
I don't remember, sir.
But you do remember writing out a statement.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what happened to that statement?
No, sir.
Have you ever seen that statement?
No, sir.
Prior to today, or prior to your deposition, Mr. Guy read you the police reports, correct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to today, did you talk to the state attorney's office about your testimony? Without going into the details, did you talk to them about what you testified to today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you go through your deposition?
Yes, sir.
At any point since the night of the shooting, have you ever seen the written statement you're talking about right now?
No, sir.
Now, you met with the detectives, and you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you only met with them for about 15 minutes, correct?
How about that? Yes, sir.
And in your words, that was pretty fast?
Yeah.
And that was back at the homicide office, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, one of the last things, Mr. Thompson, let me ask you this. You said that you saw Jordan Davis laid down in the back seat, gasping for air. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you mean by you saw him laying down in the back seat.
Leland was holding him, and he's like he's breathing, like his head is on Leland's chest, and he's gasping for air.
All right, so Jordan Davis is not lying in his lap. He's actually on Leland Brunson's chest or shoulder,
Yes, sir.
and that's what you, for the record, that's kind of what you just showed with your arm movement?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that was accurate and fair, what I just described?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so where were his feet?
On the floor?
All right, so he wasn't laying down.
No, sir.
All right, and if I can just approach this area, Your Honor? Sure. Based on the way you're sitting,
Yeah.
if you're Jordan Davis, based on your recollection, tell me which way his feet were. If that's the back passenger looking forward, were they just like that how you are, straight forward?
No, probably like at a angle.
At an angle,
Yeah.
but they were still facing forward.
Yes, sir.
His feet weren't up on the seat.
No, sir.
He wasn't lying down.
No, sir.
And again, his head is over on Leland Brunson's chest.
Yes, sir.
Not his lap.
Not his left.
And is that also safe and accurate when you guys stopped in the plaza and you looked in the back? Is that the same position he was in then?
Yes, sir.
Same position when you got back to the gas station?
Yes, sir.
And again, one of the pictures you looked at with the state attorney's office, it had your front window was shattered. Your window was not shattered that evening, was it?
Not that I remember, sir.
All right, and if it was, you'd be able to remember and say, oh yeah, when I looked over, my window was shattered and down, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't that. When you looked at the picture today, that window was not accurate from that night. Is that true?
Not that I remember, sir.
Okay, nothing further. Thank you.
Mr. Dunn?
Mr. Thompson, when you got out of the car in the plaza, what was going through your head?
Just making sure everybody was okay. Just checking up on it, making sure everybody is all right. And then when we found out Jordan was hit, that's when everybody went into a panic. And that's when we headed back to the station, sir.
When you saw Jordan Davis in Leland Brunson's arms, did you realize he wasn't okay?
Yes, sir.
As soon as you got back to the gate gas station, who did you call?
911.
You called people after that?
Yes, sir.
Who did you call after that?
My dad, Malik Williams, my girlfriend, and I believe my sister.
And who's Malik Williams? Is he a friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why'd you call those people?
I call those people because those are the immediate people I think about calling, making sure, telling them what just happened, letting them know that I'm all right, and that I'm at the Gate gas station.
Did you call anybody and tell them to come get some kind of gun?
No, sir.
Out of the parking lot?
No, sir.
Or out of the bushes?
No, sir.
Or from under a car?
No, sir.
Did you call anybody and tell them to come down to that area and get anything?
No, sir.
Did you take a gun out of the car?
No, sir.
A bat?
No,
A
sir.
pipe?
No, sir.
A knife?
No, sir.
Did you see Tommy Storns do that?
No, sir.
Did Leela Brunson ever get out of the car when y'all were in the plaza?
No, sir.
At any point that night, did you see anybody take a weapon of any kind out of that car?
No, sir.
When you were asked about how the defendant shot into Jordan Davis's door,
Yes, sir.
did he, from what you saw, did he look like he was just kind of like going like this?
No, sir. No, sir.
Was he looking at the door?
Yes, sir.
Was the gun in the same direction he was looking?
Yes, sir.
Did it go off
Yes, sir.
multiple times,
Yes, sir.
even after Tommy Storns started backing out?
Yes, sir.
Overruled.
You were asked about your conversation with the sheriff's office.
Yes, sir.
Were you already downtown at the police memorial building with the homicide detectives when you told them that y'all had actually left the gate for a short period of time and gone to the plaza?
Yes, sir.
You were asked about recognizing people at the gate station.
Yes, sir.
You know any of those people by name?
No, sir.
You friends with any of those people?
No, sir.
Did you ask anybody there to hide something for you?
No, sir.
When you met with me about your testimony, did I ever tell you what to say?
No, sir.
What did I tell you to do?
Tell the truth.
Thank you, sir.
May he be excused?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stroller?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson, you're excused. Let me see counsel at the sidebar real quick. You want to stay there? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the next witness is going to be probably another hour-long or so type of a witness, so I'd just assume we'll go ahead and break for lunch now and then come back and resume. We'll resume, it's just a couple of minutes after 12, we'll resume at 1 o'clock. Again, please remember, don't discuss the case among yourselves or with others, let anybody discuss it in your presence. And we thank you again for your time and attention. We'll see you back in just a little under an hour.